So it's not just New York, not just Washington, not just California. Anti-gun advocates finally realized that it was just an exercise in vanity to constantly throw themselves at the federal wall, so to speak, to try to get some federal gun control passed. So now they've been focusing on state capitals. Of course, that was after protesting in grocery stores and doing everything else. They finally did find their state capitals. Many states now have both a Democrat state legislature and a Democrat governor in the wake of the 2018 midterms. Not a lot, but some. And they're seizing the opportunity to enact sweeping gun control laws. And New Mexico may be one of the first, particularly one of the first Southwestern states to do it. That's right, New Mexico. It's New Mexico, for crying out loud. But elections have consequences. This is why we have to fight to make sure that our local, our state and federal elections have outcomes that protect our freedoms in 2020. I mean, for crying out loud, there are people who elect people like New Mexico's new Democrat governor, Michelle Lujan Grisham. She's pushing to extend background checks. I want someone to explain that to me. Extend background checks to what? Increase oversight of firearms sales. I love gun platitudes, and place new limits on firearms possession and ownership. People elected her. I mean, they all voted. They elected her into office. It was a free and fair election. This is why there is work to do in our own states. Democrat lawmakers and state legislatures, they're seeking to go even further. So, for example, Democrat reps Damon Ely and Joy Garrett have introduced a bill that would allow police or relatives to seek court orders to seize guns from people who have shown signs of violence. Right now, while Democrat Representative Linda Trujillo is pushing a bill that would ban teachers from carrying firearms at school and set gun protocols for contract security employees and campus police who carry firearms. Because why have common sense safety when you can just be anti-gun? Reasonable people, though, and people who have solutions, who want to look at the issues and not just the symptoms but the causes, they include sheriffs from several rural counties who are publicly speaking out, as well as individuals who have spent their lives around firearms. People like David Sanchez, vice president of the New Mexico Stockmen's Association. He had this to say at a recent public hearing on this proposed legislation. Quote, "We use our firearms as a tool on our ranches on a daily basis, and we share those tools with our workers, our neighbors, our friends. I don't see where any of this proposed legislation addresses root cause problems of crime," end quote. And he's right, because these aren't the people that are driving crime. It's not the ranchers doing this. It's not law-abiding good people. Every single one of these mass casualty incidents, there have been warning signs from each of these individuals. And there's been a legal pathway and options available to have them adjudicated unfit, to have them Baker Acted, time and time again. I've gone over them 6 ways to Sunday. I wrote about, up until 2016, the ones that listed some of my first book, Hands Off My Gun. But the question here is, will Governor Grisham and this Democrat legislature, are they going to listen to the will of the people? Are they actually going to look at the root cause of the problem?